Paul and Tami Roos, thanks for joining us on the House of Wellness, and thanks for inviting us into your house in Hawaii.
Thank you.
It's always good to have the Aussies come across, and yeah. I know you're a fan of Hawaii, so no, it's good. Thanks for coming in the house, and thanks for having us on the show.
Love it, Roos. Now I want to talk to you. For me, in a lot of ways, you changed the game in football from an era that you played in, where coaches were pretty abusive, and there was one way to get a result, and then you came in as the Zen master, we like to call you, Roosie, and brought this incredible, cool, calm, collected. Was that always with you? Was that something you wanted to do? And I believe you had a list in your desk of things that you weren't going to do as a coach. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I finished in 1998, and always really respectful, as you are, Darcy, with the old coach. It was more that they just didn't have time. I mean, the era that we started in, certainly I started in, was very much part-time. So the coach relationship, player relationship just didn't exist. So it was train harder, train longer, yell at three-quarter time, try and get a response. And it's no disrespect to Parker and Wolsey and those guys who I learned so much off. But, yeah, I sat down at my desk at the end of 1998 and wrote down the things I liked about coaches and didn't like about coaches, more from a player's point of view, because I felt the longer that coaches were out of the game, the less they had in common. So I had no idea I was going to coach, but in hindsight, it's probably the best thing I did. It really kept me accountable to the leader that I wanted to be while I was coaching. And bearing in mind that was 98, and I didn't start coaching until halfway through 2002. So it was a really, really important list for me to hold me accountable to the sort of style of leader that I wanted to become.
Yeah, Tami, you've got a PhD in meditation, and this is an area that you're as well versed on as anyone. Did Roosie always have that calmness that we see about him? Is that always him, or have you seen him? Does he lose his cool every now and then?
No, Paul's always been, I think, more of a... He does have a calm nature. The meditation definitely helped, though. I think in terms of the clarity that comes from meditating often, and that idea to have the presence and the ability to go, okay, I need to just stop and think right now before I respond. And I think one of the big things that most people don't understand with meditation is the longer that you meditate, because it's a cumulative practice, the better you get at it. So it's no different than learning to play a musical instrument or learn a foreign language. The more time you put into it, the better it is. So it's not something that you can do one day and then expect 5 days later that you're going to still be good at it. Do you know what I'm saying? So you build it up.
Yeah.
But I think as well, the longer you do meditate, you become less emotionally reactive, and that's huge.
You guys are out there speaking all the time, and leadership and meditation. Tami, just written another book. What's the message you try and pass on to people about the key to living a healthy life?
I think there's some non-negotiables in our lives for both of us, to be honest, which is exercise and meditation.
Yeah. And
ticking those two, I think, are huge in terms of how I start my day off. So if I start my day with the meditation, exercise, and again, like, I'm big on hydration, making sure you get enough water, all those things, it just sets your day up for how you're going to step out that front door so you can give your best possible self to the day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Very much, yeah.
So for me, when I'm talking with people, I think that it's more about doing those things that you love it, but you understand, our life, actually, some things do take effort. Our health, it should be something that we actually prioritize, the mental health as well as our physical health. And I think for many, that is that missing key ingredient, which is the mental health. We really need to start to learn to love the mind as much as we love the physical.
That's for you and I think we took for granted being involved in footy club. I think what I've noticed in the last 3 years being out of Melbourne and more corporate with my company and the events that we run, it's very different. It's very different. The people are so outcome focused, and so worried about budgets and so worried about shareholders and all those sorts of things. So for me, I think the biggest thing is, how do we pull this notion of leadership and we create these real good leaders that are prepared to look after their staff and prepared to say, no, we're going to create this environment where we want to come into work during a day. We want to start with a meditation. We're going to meet down the tan and we're going to walk around the tan, or we're going to play touch footy at lunchtime or whatever. So we're actually starting to integrate this whole, healthy lifestyle experience rather than burning out our staff and rather than leaving it up to them to be able to do it. That, to me, is the next phase of the corporate world.
Yeah.
We've got to stop looking at wellness here and leadership here. We've got to start pulling them in together and say, to be a really good leader, you need look after yourself and you need to look after your staff.
And you can join you too, Nurture 360. I've been reading about it. Sounds incredible. You've got an amazing list of people joining you in Fiji for an opportunity to do exactly what you said.
Yeah, we were really lucky. Last year we got invited to Nurture Her just as speakers. And we were asked to buy into the company. We've now got 3 events, which is Nurture Change, Nurture 360, which is coming up, and Nurture Her. So it's really exciting because for us it's about walking the walk. You know, if we want to talk about meditation, wellness and leadership and business, and we want to teach people how to be healthy but also to be great leaders when they go back to their company, it's exciting for us to be part of it, and we're really looking forward to it.